Welcome everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Southern Comfort Podcast. I'm your boy Big Rich,
Kevin Harris,
and we got a special guest in the building today. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the first white person to ever grace this camera, this podcast. You've heard his name before. You've heard about Jake from State Farm,
yes,
white boy Jake, the Borough boy, Mr. Jacob Orvis. How you doing, Jake?
I'm good, man.
You happy? So my wife, my wife surprisingly mentioned to me the other day. She was like, "Oh, I thought I'd be the first white person on your podcast."
I was thinking about that.
And I said, "You have no one to blame but Jill Harris, Kevin's wife."
It's not her fault.
What do you mean it's not her fault?
How is it her fault?
We had an episode planned for the wives, and Jill was like, "No,
she said
it's not ready."
She said she'd do it if Aura did it, and she didn't believe that text was really from Aura. She thought it was you who had taken Aura's phone.
Well, I appreciate Jill for letting me be the first white guest.
Of course.
Anyway, welcome, Jake. Also, I have to mention, you are known as, and you proclaimed this, my white son.
That is true.
My white son. So
it's true.
Appreciate you, bro, coming on.
You, man. My family was the first time we rolled it out. Mm-hmm. First time I was like, yeah, this is Black Dad.
Well, we're gonna get there because it caught me by surprise. But nonetheless, Jake is an operative in the game, someone who came my way circa 2014, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, and I've known him since he was a sophomore at Georgia Tech then, or
maybe a freshman.
Yeah. I mean,
time flies.
He looked like a young Tom Cruise in Risky Business, right? Like he wanted to put some meat on the bones, but he was real lanky and he could eat.
Mm-hmm.
He could eat, boy. He could eat. I would sponsor his lunch or just take him out. We would go out and he would scarf food down like it was no tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, do they feed you at that?
And it's crazy because I know we're going to get into it, but Richard would genuinely, every time we go out to eat, buy food for me. Mm-hmm. And I was like a freshman in college. So that was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And so every time I'm out with staffers, like somebody junior, always I feel like I have to buy food for them. And it's gotten really expensive. I mean, no. It's crazy how much I've spent.
So now you definitely.
But you put that in me. I was like, now I have to do it. And it's added up. I mean,
so one, I think then you were interning for me, right?
That's true.
And I know you're in college.
Yeah.
And the least I could do, right, is feed you, right?
Yeah.
Feed you. And it's important, right? If you feed them, they stay.
Yeah.
I mean,
it ain't the pay.
It ain't the pay, right? But for my volunteers, right? Like I would always try to get elected officials or just donors to sponsor food for the volunteers who would come and do phone banking or even when canvassing, if you take care of your people, they'll take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to know that you still pay it forward to some of the kids in the area. But let's
How paid were you about my food if I was on salary?
And you were still
that makes me feel better.
Because I mean, even Ebenezer tell you, even when I mean, well, shit, even when you guys were
working, still bought my food when I was actually making a paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, because were you making enough? No,
right,
but still, right? Like, I know how you can get entrenched in something and one, forget to eat or,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then when you do eat, sometimes it isn't the most healthiest.
Yeah.
It's most likely never
right.
the healthy.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if we're going to feed you, at least try to get some of some substance in.
Right. And campaigns become family, so you never stop
Yeah.
looking out for your people.
Hence why you're here right now.
And I still love the Bullpen. That restaurant over by Turner Field, I mean, love that place.
Was that like close to the office at that time?
It was close to the state party office. Yeah. It was like right on the other side of the freeway. Good, cheap.
It's really cheap. I mean,
not cheap, affordable. Right? Affordable. Right? It was, you know, stadium-esque barbecue Southern food.
And I was worried about them when the Braves moved, but they're still there. They're like still open. I still go there all the time. And Maria's like, stop taking me to the Bullpen. I'm like, I love this restaurant.
It's like my wife and Eats.
Maria's the same way with Eats.
I fucking love Eats.
It's so good.
It's, bruh, think about meat and three, but what they serve is a quarter. You get a quarter chicken, or is it a half?
I think it's a half.
You get a half a chicken. It's either coming lemon pepper, or barbecue or jerk, right? And you get sides, and the sides range from black beans, rice, sweet potato, macaroni and cheese, broccoli. You know, so you get that. But then they also used to have a pasta side where they would have pasta station where you can get pasta, different pastas, a sauce, a sausage, a salad.
Put your own pesto on it. They have like a pesto bowl. I mean, it's awesome.
Comes with a salad, bro. And I mean, you talk about for a college student or just a regular kid. If you were a single person, you could eat off that for 2 days.
That's about it sounds like
and it was off like $9.
Probably like 19 now.
No,
it's still cheap. I mean, I think they own the building.
Yeah, it's still cheap, but I will say the quality's gone down.
I can't speak ill of Eats, dude. I love Eats.
I was trying to bring President Clinton there for like a OTR one time. And
awesome. This is before or after the heart attacks?
Well, this is definitely after the heart attack.
Why the hell would you take him there?
He not eating. He can get vegetables.
It's like taking an alcoholic to the liquor store. Hey, we just need to
so I brought him to Manuel's Tavern. This was 2016. And they had just opened back up. They weren't even open. They just remodeled the building. And I had to get people there, but of course not tell them why they were coming there. So I had, flooded with like friends and family, and my mother and her former boss is like my godmother. And they're 70 plus years old. And I put them right here, prime time spot, right? Camera's gonna cut, he's gonna walk by. And my mother embarrassed herself. She embarrassed me. She embarrassed herself. She ordered the Dogzilla, which is like, it's like this long of a hot dog. And she had chili on it and cheese.
And onions.
And mustard, right?
Yeah.
And
why not?
Funny thing.
Clinton's walking in and he's going, oh yeah, you already know where this is going. President Clinton's walking in and, we're taught to be behind and direct them.
That's right.
And I'm like, this way, sir, this way. He's almost like, he's like, shut the fuck up, I know what I'm doing. Right. He walks to my mother's table and stands right behind her, in between her. And this clown, before he comes and takes a big ass bite of the hot dog. And he's like, hey, how you doing?
Oh my
And
God.
she's like, he said, I kid you not, oh, you got a mouthful, don't you?
That's a crazy thing to order.
Man.
To
and she just was like, and I'm like,
so funny.
You hear me go, Mama. But, again, like food's important, right?
It is important.
But back to you. So State Farm, you are from
Statesboro.
Now, explain to people Statesboro, because first of all, Statesboro is a very interesting place.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But I want you to break it down for it.
How would I describe Statesboro? It's really the only thing going on between Macon and Savannah. Georgia Southern's there.
Georgia Southern is?
Harvard of the South. What we call it there.
What y'all call it?
That's a crazy reaction. Have you been? You should go to.
What do you mean have I visited? Those are one of the several colleges that rejected me.
You got rejected? Oh.
I got rejected from Georgia Southern.
That's crazy.
I think was it Georgia Southern? Georgia Southern was one that sent me 2 rejection letters.
Twice.
They
wanted him to
in the same, like I had got the packet.
I'm sorry, that's crazy.
I mean, well, first of all, I went to the actual real Harvard of the South, which is Morehouse. So that's why
you should
snicker at that bullshit you say. But no, Georgia Southern sent me like the usual invitation packet, big booklet and everything, but in it was a rejection letter, and then they sent me a envelope, and there was another rejection letter.
I feel like this brings up a lot more questions. But we're gonna blow past it. We're gonna keep it moving.
He's brought that up on the show before.
I'm not saying I appreciate Georgia. I appreciate them for rejecting me because I would not have gone to the illustrious Morehouse College.
But that's fair. So Georgia, I mean, you got to give them credit. But Georgia Southern, it's the biggest thing going on in Statesboro.
Yes, that's true.
Statesboro's grown a bunch, so it's a really, I think, unique place to grow up, especially in the South, because it is kind of like a microcosm of the larger South. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I think, especially as I've gotten older, it's hard to think, if I end up having kids one day, like everybody wants to have their own kids to have as similar to childhood as they did for the most part, right? Like the things that were good, the things that were bad. And I think it's tough because Statesboro is like such a unique place, and it's not, it's hard to compare to other things. So I was really interesting place to grow up. Interesting place to kind of start, but yeah, still love State.
Now you say it's between, so it's between the midway point. Macon, Savannah, right? The midway point is Dublin, and it's
technically
it's what, an hour and a half from Savannah.
It's like an hour from Savannah,
from Macon.
Yeah. It's like an hour north of Savannah, and so you grew up going to Savannah a lot. And, but yeah, I mean, Statesboro, and it's off the interstate. You have to drive like 20 minutes off the interstate to get to Statesboro. And I mean, there's been a ton of growth since, Georgia Southern's exploded. There's a ton of growth between Savannah and Statesboro. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a really kind of unique and interesting place.
What would you say the racial makeup of Statesboro is?
So for my high school is like 50% Black.
Okay.
And I know like Statesboro has just grown and gotten more diverse since. I don't know the actual demographics of the town.
Now, there's another important city near Savannah, Statesboro, Hinesville. Hinesville, Georgia is home of Fort Gordon? No
idea.
It's a military town. So were there a lot of
Georgia's military town?
Well,
not really in Statesboro. In Statesboro, the biggest thing is Georgia Southern. Yeah. So there's just, that drove the economy, and that's been the reason the town is.
And your parents were professors?
Both teach chemistry at Georgia Southern.
Oh, at Georgia Southern?
At Georgia, which is very weird.
Did they meet there?
No, they didn't meet at Georgia Southern. They met before, but they moved there in the 90s, and I think the 90s. Don't fact check me on that, but they moved there either the late 80s or 90s. And yeah, I mean, both of them are chemistry teachers, which is really weird, especially one, to have both your parents do the exact same thing. Two, to have
the same place.
Yeah, at the same place, to have them do something like chemistry, which is so far removed from what we do. Thankfully, thank God.
Which is, I find that interesting, right? Like your parents are chemistry teachers, professors, chemists.
Yeah.
And you chose to go into this field.
I was like, I have to do something else. I'm kidding. But, no, both my parents, they love teaching. And they really love teaching. And I think that for me, the way I kind of internalize that in this job, whenever if I'm ever able to speak to groups of people interested in politics or young people classes or whatever, I love it. Because explaining what we do, because what we do is so weird, so unique, so interesting. I absolutely love that. And I love getting technical about it and into the details. And I think a lot of that comes from you are teaching, right? And in politics, I feel like if you're doing it correctly, a lot of it is like, how do I take this complicated idea about what I am or what my opponent is and distill it down to mail, to ads, to whatever it is, right?
Budgets, time.
Exactly. And so I think that a lot of that started with my parents, seeing them. And I could use spreadsheets growing up, which when you're in politics, I mean, I was like the only spreadsheet guy.
We can get into that. All right.
And so that helped too.
Your parents, where are they originally from?
My dad's originally from Michigan.
Oh.
Which is really interesting. Yeah. So his family was there, I mean, like worked at GM. And so big, you know, and we're like kind of in the middle of that. I think his dad was like a line worker for GM in Detroit. And then my mom was born in Texas and then moved to either North or South Carolina. I'm going to be honest. I forget which one. They run together. But
let's say Carolina.
One of the Carolinas.
Yes, from the Carolina.
Yeah. And so that's their background. They didn't really come from a sciencey background, but I mean, I think, you know, when they were coming up, the way academia in particular was like really growing, and you know, that was like a pretty solid way into the middle class, right? And so I think that's part of why, and they loved science.
So did you ever meet your paternal grandfather?
Yeah, I did. On my dad's side. Yeah, I was really young though. And then he died of Alzheimer's when I was pretty young.
Okay.
So like I was old enough to remember who he was, right? And kind of know him, but not old enough to like have any sort of real conversation.
Yeah, I think we talk about it a lot, right? The party, when they look for a working class voter, they try to, you know, paint it as one picture, and that's a guy in a hard hat working in an assembly line from a place like Michigan or Ohio and things like that. You know,
something that I admit, when I was younger, I was probably, as we all are when we're younger, more angry at than I needed to be. But as I get older, you develop an appreciation, understanding. I have family in Michigan who are like Obama, Trump voters, right? And talking to them, and we hear about, in the media, you hear about Obama, Trump voters, but knowing them, being able to talk to them and realize, like, you know, we agree on a lot of things, but we disagree on a lot more. But at the end of the day, they're making decisions in the same way everybody else is.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they have a sheet metal business or something along those lines. And the economy isn't great. And so they're like, I don't like that, and I want change. And it's just like,
they go back and forth.
You know, they go back and forth. They're not overly partisan. They're genuinely just want what's best for their family. And I think you lose that. We lose that when we get online. You lose that. And I think that, but you have to apply that to everybody. Like, you have to understand everybody, whether it's this last election, and we saw new demographics of people going for Trump in a way that we hadn't before, right? Or past elections going back to the, you know, early 2000s, like at its core, you can really distill it down to people doing what they think is best for their families. And as political people, we have to understand that and know that everything needs to be contextualized that way.
So, all right. So, you know, you talked about you being an angry white boy growing up.
I didn't say angry.
Yeah, you did. Confused, or...
We'll get quirky. Can we get quirky? Will you allow that?
Sure. Well, that's not... You talking about...
Quirky's better than angry boys. You don't want to be angry boy. I don't think that's ever... anyone's ever said that in a good way. Like,
no, listen, angry. I don't think you being angry is a good way to do it, right?
I mean...
So you graduate high school.
Shout
out to high school. What's the name of your high school?
Statesboro High School.
Oh, wow.
Shout out.
Shout out to Statesboro High School. How many high schools are in Statesboro?
A few, okay. Now I mean, in city limits, maybe one, but in the region, okay, there's a bunch. Now I understand the Statesboro hate. I never knew the Georgia side.
I never, first of all, I never said that I hate Statesboro. No, I never said I hate Statesboro. It is an interesting place. Very interesting. I actually like campaigning in Statesboro. You know what I'm saying? It's a definite stop on my list when you're doing a tour, right? I mean, it's not in my top 10 of Georgia cities.
Okay.
You know,
This is
it may no, it's not in my top 10.
okay. Hang on. Where is it on the ranking? I have to. Okay, if Atlanta
11.
counts as one.
11.
11.
Okay.
11.
This is crazy.
11. Would you put it above Augusta?
Would I mean, it doesn't matter where I would put it.
Oh, well,
But I mean, okay, if Atlanta is its own, though, you can't count like Roswell, right? Atlanta is its own.
Atlanta is its own thing. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Savannah, Augusta, Macon, Columbus,
Rome.
Rome.
I love Rome. I love Rome.
Anyway, we're getting into the.
You know what? I'll give y'all 10. I'll put y'all above Valdosta.
I'll take 10.
I'll put y'all above Valdosta.
I'll definitely take
Valdosta has a lot. I mean, it could be a lot more, but yeah. Anyway, you graduate.
Yes.
You go to college. What were your top 3 colleges?
I mean, I didn't put a ton of thought into it, to be honest with you. I knew
it wasn't Statesboro.
Statesboro's on the list.
His parents were there.
He could have gone for free.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were there, so I was like,
his parents.
oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes your parents are like, I ain't paying for that.
I mean, well, thankfully, Georgia Hope Scholarship, what it is, right? We had that.
Yeah.
And so I knew I was going to go in state.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I applied for anywhere out of state.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied to I think Georgia College, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Georgia Southern. I think that was it.
No West Georgia?
I don't think I applied. Maybe. I may have applied. I mean, it was all Georgia colleges.
Yeah.
And then I honestly just kind of went to the best one I got into, which was Georgia Tech. And I was like, great. No offense to the others, but and I was like, let's go to Georgia Tech. And at the time, a small part of me was like, I'm going to be a doctor, which was crazy. That was just, I love politics, but I didn't think it was even a career that I could do at that point.
I mean, I wondered why tech? Because when I met you, it was for politics, right? So
the doctor thing was short-lived.
Yeah.
I mean, ironically, first semester, I'm taking chemistry. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting a C in chemistry. And I'm like, this should be my thing, if any of this. But then I loved politics, realized I loved the sport of it, right? Loved arguing, loved fighting with people. And so I did a bunch of college dim stuff. And then somebody from the campaign who was on campus, who was tabling, I ran into them.
Might have been Andy Rado or somebody.
It was Alex.
Alex
Jordan.
Yes,
yeah, he's Alex Jordan.
Yeah. So his father was Jimmy Carter's chief of staff.
Yeah. And I ran into him while he was tabling, and I was like, he was like, do you want to come on this campaign? And I was like, yeah, that'd be crazy. I didn't know he could do that.
He was a good kid.
And so I did that. And then absolutely fell in love with it from there, and was like, I mean, I'm already making a C in chemistry, so which is a disappointment to everybody.
How was that explaining to the parents? How did you get a C in chemistry?
Oh, they tried to help me. I mean, I was beyond saving. They tried. I mean, I would get on the phone with them. We'd walk through it, and what was even worse is the professor had been trained at Georgia Southern under my parents.
Oh, wow.
And so in my head,
wow,
I was like, I'm going to go to office hours. We're going to smooth this over. You know what I mean? And it did not work. She was like, that's great. You should really get this. And then we just went back and I was like, damn it.
Genetically, you should understand this.
Genetically, you're fucked. I mean, she was like, I can't explain how bad this is. So anyway, chemistry wasn't going to work.
So what about politics attracted you to that? So I don't.
One of the, because
are your parents political?
My mom is she got really involved post-Trump, right? She was one of the people who got, and so I always tell people, I'm like, I was involved first, okay? I want you guys to know, don't think, okay, I was involved first. But they were always, I think that they were always aware of politics and interested in what was going on. But they weren't, engaged in that in a overly partisan way, right? And so I love talking politics, especially when I was growing up, with different friends and different people I knew, because it was just, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's like really brutal, right? Because you're like, these people are like harming everybody, right? But and in a lot of ways, it's really technical.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love that, right? I loved all of it. I loved arguing, all the things we all love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so once I realized I could do something involved in politics, I was like, this is awesome. So I started interning, and, you know, was just making phone calls. Like, it was just phone banking all the time.
All right. So again,
sorry,
no. Explain to people like your road to where you are now.
Okay,
it started with.
So I started there interning phone banking
on a U.S. Senate race.
Yes.
Okay.
2014. I started there. And then as I recall, after that ended, I was harassing the then political director of the Democratic Party of Georgia, this guy, for an internship.
Actually, he did. He was aggressive.
And let me tell you something about the then political director for the Democratic Party of Georgia. He wasn't answering the Google form. He was not. That intern at Google form, but no, actually, and I learned something incredibly valuable, because I would harass Richard. I figured out it was Richard. And I didn't really, you were on that campaign I was on previously, but we didn't really interact because I was so junior, right? Interacting with Richard, that would have been awesome. That would have been like, I'm in charge now.
That was your choice. You could have easily come up to me.
No, I would have had to go upstairs, and that was, I don't think they allowed me.
Make your way.
Anyway, and so I learned, like, I was bothering Richard a lot. Thank God. Richard was like, yes, come help us. I think the first day we were moving out of that office on Traber. And Richard was like, we're actually moving. Do you want to come help us, like, move all this heavy shit? I was like, I'd love to. And so then I got super involved and, you know, did more things for Richard, was interning for Richard. But I learned from that, from you, when later, as I was on as your intern, you had me like go back through and respond to the other interns who'd applied. And I learned that, like, if you're just persistent and you stick with it, a lot of the times it's not Richard's fault that he has a bunch of shit to do. You know what I mean? Because these jobs, everyone's overwhelmed. I was in similar situations later. It's funny, actually, where exact same thing happened. Like, there'd be one potential intern who would like be emailing me over and over again because I forget about the Google form, which for some reason is my responsibility. You know what I mean? It's like,
and I created the form.
But so that was actually, I mean, I'm joking with you, but that was super valuable. Like, seriously, to learn that. And then let's see, did intern there. Richard abandoned me to work on the presidential race.
That's not true.
That was a really sad day. I'm not kidding, dude.
That's not true, because you still came back.
It did come back, but when he left to work on the presidential race from the party, I was like still interning at the party, and I was just like, I don't think I've ever told you this. I was in your office that next day, just like super sad. I was like, this sucks, dude. I don't know. No one else here. I mean, they're great. I loved everybody else there, but I was like, Richard was like my guy, and now he's on. I'm never going to see him again. You know, he's off to like doing way better things. And so eventually ended up doing finance for a long time, doing fundraising for Stacey Evans on the gubernatorial. Oh, sorry, I jumped Caesar Mitchell. I jumped way ahead.
No, you jumped. I mean, there was still that presidential experience.
Yeah, there was. Okay, there was the presidential experience.
Ended up doing work on the presidential.
Ended up working. Thank God he called me again. I was like, I thought I'd never hear from him again.
I came back. I came back to Georgia after. She had got the nomination. I was like, I'm just going to go back to home. I need to go back home. Yeah.
Was interning for Richard again, which was awesome. I mean, that was a completely different, you were directing all the resources and the people coming. I mean, you know, that was super cool and like an inside look. Then Caesar Mitchell after that, 2017 for mayor, you pulled me on.
Yep.
And that was the first like big time, real. I say big time.
Had you graduated at that point?
I was lying to everybody. Yeah, I was like, I'm not in college.
So you're jumping the gun. We're gonna go back to this presidential because I'm back. I'm back in the state, and we have a good thing working. It was myself, Tracy.
Yeah.
We had Ron Allen, and we just were attacking it the best we could, right? We were the best thing smoking here. The state party was still trying to get us holdings and find his position somewhere. But we started getting surrogates in town.
Mm.
And I got Senator Booker coming in.
He loves this story.
And I go to Jake. I'm like, Jake, you're going to be my guy this trip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have you body him. I want, you know, all the things that I know you can do. I want you to be that person, right? Jake's ass had to been partying the night before because he woke up late. He was wearing...
I don't know if I can support that.
He was wearing, I thought was going to be a blue suit. I told him to wear a blue suit. He had on like brown pants.
Ain't on a suit.
Like chocolate brown like slacks and like a blue sport coat with a white t-shirt like this underneath. And I was just like looking like Tom Cruise out of Risky Business. Just like, yeah. And he has everybody, all the young Dems of Georgia Tech. He has a crew and they're like idolizing Jake like he's a fucking rock star. And we get...
That didn't give me clout. That didn't give me clout. Running that trip.
Listen, I pulled strings to get Senator Booker there, and we get him at the alumni house, which was problematic. They didn't want him there. They did not want him at the alumni house to do an event there. None of it. I called the bosses and was like, yo, y'all need to make this happen. And they did. And they got him there. Senator Sam Nunn was like, y'all better let my boy there. Jake's bodying him. They're trying to cross the street. What are you told to call Cory Booker? Senator. This jackass. Hey, Cory. This way, man. Come on. Yelling across the street. And I'm like, I pulled him. I was like, his name is Senator. Yeah, I got you. Cory. This way, Cory. And, you know, he's not going to correct him. You know what I'm saying?
No. He's chill. You should do it.
But Jake was so amped.
I got a lot of corrections on that. Okay, let me start with number one. I did not own a suit.
Him.
Okay, let me fact check.
Yes, please fact check him.
I didn't own a suit, so that part may have been true. Okay.
Very true. So that's not a fact one.
It definitely, whatever I was wearing did not fit or match. Okay. So that's, that part is true. The second part, okay, I may have called the senator by his first name because I thought I heard Richard do it and I thought it was okay. Let me say that. And I was like, oh, this guy's, but in Richard's defense, to my detriment, I will say I did not know all of the proper etiquette to follow at the time. So who knows, who knows what actually happened? Did I make some mistakes? Oh yeah. I'm going to blame Richard for all of
it. No, he was amped.
True.
Amped. Like, awesome. It's like he had downed a Red Bull and 2 Mountain Dews. And he was on but again, what I love about Jake is his eagerness to learn, his ability to adapt, right? And, he takes, criticism very well. Hey, do it like this, do it like this. He'll take it. He may ask why, but he'll ask why after the fact. He'll do what you ask him to do. And then after the fact, it's like, can you walk me through why I did it that way?
Well, seriously, when I was working for you, I learned so much about how to take direction, not just about politics generally, which of course I learned a ton about that, but like how to take direction, how to figure it out, how to like put your head down and get it done, even if you can't see the bigger picture. And that was invaluable.
Yeah.
For my own career. Cause all staffing in politics is knowing you might not always be able to see the big picture, but you have to go execute your part of the plan.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a better way to like learn all of those things that you were showing me how to do. And so even though I may have referred to certain senators by their first name along the way and then never did again, that was a great lesson.
Right.
I was like, don't be that chill. But no, and that was a really fun trip.
And again, but it also showed how comfortable you were in your own skin.
Probably too comfortable.
And
probably a little too comfortable.
But no, again, you got the job done.
Yeah.
And that's what, I go through many staffers. We go through a lot of staffers.
Yeah.
But the ones who, again, have the ability to just do with their ass,
Yeah.
and do it effectively. And you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
It's a given,
Yeah.
right? You're always going to mess up, but your ability to learn from your mistakes and then adapt and just do better.
Yeah.
You were spot on with that. And I trusted you with a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like you were my spreadsheet guy. I know nothing about Google. I mean, I can use spreadsheets, Excel, none of that. Like Jake, hey, can you create a spreadsheet? Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he would whoop that together, bro. And I appreciated it.
It's an important skill.
Important skill.
It's overrated.
Yeah.
Yes. But,
Not overrated, underappreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, I mean, as a data person, so, you've pretty much gone through every position there is on a campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's one you haven't done? You've done them all, right?
Yeah. I mean, field research, political comms. Yeah. And that helped me manage fundraising. Oh, fundraising. I mean, that was a crazy. So I went on after the mayor's race in 17, I was working for Stacey Evans in that primary, and I was doing a lot of her fundraising. And I think that was, first off, I mean, Stacey Evans is like incredible to work for. She's awesome. And still have a great, love her. But that's when it's really, you're in a race and you're fundraising and like you got to pull this money together, whether it's there or not, you got to go find it. You know what I mean? And that was invaluable. And then ended up going on, ended up working for Lucy McBath after that. Worked for Lucy McBath for 7 years, which is crazy.
Wow. Were you on the official side too, or
briefly? Like when we first run, but I came on to her runoff in 2018 after working for Stacey Evans. And that was incredible because she ran so many different races, right? There's 2018, we were underfunded. Nobody thought we could win. We were coming into a runoff where that was a challenging runoff. Then the 2018 general, then moving to 2020, which was huge and like a ton of money coming in. Then 2022, obviously, we were in a member primary because of redistricting, which is a whole different vibe to run that. And then 24, we were in a new district. And then recently I was like running our gubernatorial up until we wound it down. So that was that's the full picture and kind of how we got here and all the different.
Now you first met Jake, what was it Caesar?
I feel like it would have had to have been Caesar. Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be. Yeah. And that was such a fun, that mayor's race was so fun because you completely, again, to your credit, like were giving people the ability to do what they needed to do, that as long as it kind of made sense of the overall direction, right?
Yeah.
And so in that race, I was able to really jump in to help with a lot of the research pieces, and I had naturally kind of taken on the interns, and so I was running a lot of different research.
Now, what was the special thing about you taking on the intern?
The special thing, that's where I met my wife. So
I'll give you a full 5 minutes to
my wife Maria, who I know has already been on.
Yes.
She's incredible. And that was such personal relationships are always forged on these campaigns, right? And I'm forever grateful that Maria responded to that crazy, internship form that I was sending out, that I learned to send out from you, right?
But you checked it though.
But I checked. Yeah, I remember. And it was so funny.
And look what happened when you checked it.
Green Day's fine. And so thank God, Maria came in, and Maria is been such an important part of who I am, and has taught me so much about professionally, personally, everything, right? And she's absolutely incredible, as you all know. So thank God for that grace. And it's crazy. We met on Caesar Mitchell. I mean, what a crazy
Listen, our wives are like what's the thing that smooths over stone? Like that.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. Right? They're not Sanford. They elevate us to a whole new level, right?
Yes.
You say the same thing about your wife. I say the same thing about mine. And I've heard Kevin tell stories about, how Jill helped elevate him, and,
I mean, and I genuinely have learned I mean, just so much from Maria about everything, personal and professional.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think a lot of the times, you know, when you're young, when you're out there, I know we're getting kind of off political. When you're young, you're that's true. I mean, when you're young and you're like, you don't really, you're not thinking about things in always the right way for yourself or like others, if that makes sense, right? You're all just like, okay, here's the goal. You're not even thinking about like the impact you're having on yourself. And I think that a lot of so much of like marriage is like, now there's another person who's with me all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and they're a woman. So it's like, well, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And then it's like going through those motions. I mean, like, well, what does this mean? Learning it. I mean, yeah, I feel like marriage should be about learning. If you're doing it correctly, it is about learning. And people who go into it without that idea, I think always end up.
And now you guys are, you know, partners in your firm.
Yeah. It's just crazy that we have very, very grateful. I told Maria somewhat early on in our marriage, which we've been married for like a long time, crazy, like 6 years. I wasn't dodging it. I didn't
realize it was that long.
But I do have a terrible memory all the time with dates. So every time I'm like, I never said the right date. We've been married for a long time. And she's been not just an incredible partner in my personal life, but professionally. And early on when I met her, you know, in politics, the social, as weird as it sounds, the social is the professional and the professional is the social. And that's unique.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's in a way where like, if you're a finance bro, you know, working for some firm in New York, like that's just kind of sad. That's not really, it is, but in a way that's like really stifles you. But in politics, I think if it's set up correctly, it's in a way that allows you to grow as a person, allows you to create this family atmosphere, and you're around different, you know. And so anyway, I think that I knew early on with Maria, I was like, she's one of the easily by far the most talented person who I've ever worked with. And
no, just oh no.
Politically, that's not the right answer.
I agree with you, but like all you guys,
and you saw that too in Maria. I mean, and that I knew early, like whatever I do in my life, I hope is with her.
Oh man,
lovely,
good answer.
And
good
listen,
answer.
We are going to end on a high note.
Oh yes.
Right. Again, you know what this is? The closeout of the show, because we are pay homage to the closeout king, Kobe Bean Bryant, and the mama moment. And so, who are you giving yours to?
I go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Has to be Maria.
There you
has
go.
To be my wife.
There you go.
Yeah. She has allowed me to do so much more and accomplish so much more I ever thought that I know I'd ever be able to on my own.
You know, well, we already gave her mama moment. So, I mean, she could get it, be 2 times, but it goes to you, right?
Thank you.
Your aggressiveness, the way you approach things, how you are professional, right? How you aim to get the job done, no matter what the cost is, right? Like you are the pillars of what the mama mentality is. And one of the reasons why you're on this show, you are my son, my white son.
So that makes you brawny.
That does not make him wrong.
The brawny of politics.
You know, because listen,
I'm not going to comment on that.
No.
It's not. I know it's not a good thing.
If anybody, I can't say if anybody is Kobe's son in the league, who would it be? There is nobody. No. You know, I'm not.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna give you Brian Scalabrine. No. Christian Laettner. How about
no Christian Laettner? At least Luka.
Okay,
Luka's at least a Laker.
This is such a weird game. This is crazy. I like it though.
No, but if you were on a team, I would consider you a badass power forward.
Thank you.
Right? Like you get the rebound, the mistakes. You correct them, right? Like you step up to the plate, you keep the play alive, right? Like that's what you do. right? And you keep it moving forward. If the game is on the line, you're someone who we can count on to ensure that, the job gets done. So that's why I'm giving it to you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Kev?
I don't have one.
All right. That's fine.
I don't. Sometimes we don't have one.
Sometimes we don't have one.
Yeah.
All right. Not everybody can get it.
Not everyone can.
Not everybody can get it. On that note, people, I appreciate you for joining the Southern Comfort Podcast. Please be sure episode 2 is coming up where we're going to dive into more of a strategic strategy, like what you learned on some of the campaigns and the roles you were in. So appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate you guys for joining. Episode part 2 is coming up next.